Yo, what is up, Crocs and clan members and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today I am bringing you a double video game review. Since I made the unboxings of both games together, I decided to play them simultaneously, and then when I was finished with both, I would make a review of each one, and then kind of compare them, which one I prefer, and all that stuff. So the two games I got were Project X Zone and Fire Emblem Awakening. So I played them both simultaneously. Now, since I was given, well, Fire Emblem was first. Let's just put it that way. Fire Emblem was the first one I tried, and then after a while playing it, I started playing Project X, and I would change, uh, games until I finished them both. Now, people are gonna be like, "Oh, which one did you prefer?" Well, to be honest, they're both kind of the same. One has what the other doesn't have. So that's the way I see it. For example, Fire Emblem had cutscenes while Project X did not. But Project X had voice acting, whereas in Fire Emblem didn't. Like, the only time there was voice acting was in the cutscenes, which, I would have preferred it more, all the time. Because if we were able to create a character, which we weren't able to in Project X, but we didn't have a voice. There was no voice actor for our characters, so it was just like these weird noises. Um, Now, they both, I guess, have like about the same amount of characters. Maybe I didn't count, but it seems like it's kind of the same amount. Um, I would put Project X having more than Fire Emblem. Now, story-wise, I do prefer Fire Emblem, and I would more than likely play that one again. So maybe I would say Fire Emblem I liked more. But I do like the fighting style in Project X. I prefer the way we fought, how I had control over my character in Project X, while in Fire Emblem I didn't. And here's another point. I prefer the experience points in Fire Emblem than I did in Project X. It was like, those are some weird experience points, they're gaining there. Um, Also, Fire Emblem was a little bit easier for me. I hadn't played this. I mean, I haven't played this kind of game since, I think the only time I played a game similar to this type of strategy wise was back in like 2007, 2006, or whenever, the Bleach 3D Phantom. That's the last one. That's actually the first and only game I had played, which is a strategy based board game like this. So it was kind of a little bit different in this case, but um, Fire Emblem to me felt more strategy because it was your team's turn and then the other team. So it was depending on how you strategized your character. Well, that's how you were gonna you either mess up or you are victorious or stuff like that. Whereas in Project X, it was your characters and maybe another one of your characters and then the enemy character, and then you would continue forward, which means that you can heal yourself at that point, which is okay, I guess. It makes it easier in a way, but it didn't feel as much strategy. So never mind. I think I said earlier Fire Emblem was easier. I think right now that I think about it, Project X was easier. Plus the fact that if a character died in Project X, you could revive them if you went close to them and you had enough cross points. Whereas in Fire Emblem, the moment they died, they're gone. Now, I did play casual because it was my first time playing a Fire Emblem game, so I didn't lose them permanently. Um, I just lost them for the match. I do want at some point, I'm probably maybe in my third run through, play that version where the moment they die, they're gone forever. But Project X doesn't do that. So um, the reason why I have to say I preferred the story in Fire Emblem is because I could actually follow the story. It was way easier to pick up what was going on. Whereas in Project X, when you have such a huge cast of characters from multiple universes, it's kind of hard to focus on a main story because there's such a big cast. Um, I mean, I kind of was following the story, but because there was just so many other characters and their villains showing up at certain points with their own stories within the story, it kind of confused me in a bit. You know, I don't know if anybody else had that, but it kind of confused me. Um, Now I did not know. Like I saw the cast, and I probably can count with my two hands how many characters I actually knew in this game. Before I got it, like I had not heard of like 90% of these characters. Um, so like it was kind of like a how do I put it? It was a leap of fate to buy this game, as was Fire Emblem. So both of these games was a chance, a risk I was taking because I had never played a Fire Emblem game before, and the only reason why I bought it was because in Super Smash I freaking loved Ike. He was one of my favorite characters to play as, so I decided to give it a chance. Project X, a friend of mine told me about it, and I was like, oh, well, this looks nice. And then, I took a risk buying it because I didn't know like all these characters. I do have to say, did grow fond of a lot of these characters. I feel bad that I never played any of their games before, but it did give me like, oh my gosh, if a game like this ever comes out, you should definitely check it out at least. Um, I don't know. I might think like later in the future, like if I had more money or whatever, I would buy like some of the games some of these characters ran because they did interest me a lot, like just the way the characters were. Um, so yeah, I mean overall, both games are awesome. If you have not played them, I do suggest buying them. Um, Either one's fine. They're both great. Like I said, if I ever play one again, it's probably gonna be Fire Emblem because the story was really great, and I was actually able to follow it all through everything that was going on. Plus, I just liked it. It was great. But Project X was pretty good. I might play it again. I might not. I mean, I will eventually, but at the first one I would replay. It would be Fire Emblem because it was to maybe it was a little better. So I guess that's it. Leave down below if you have bought these games before. You know, if you bought, let's say, if you bought Fire Emblem, what did you think of it? Like, what did you like the most about it? If you bought Project X, what did you like about it? Which characters were your favorite? And post them down below. If you bought both, which one did you prefer? You know, so yeah. So that's it for this video game review. I'm hoping that soon I do finish with an anime. I might come up with a review for that for you guys too. So until I see you guys next time, this has been SoresanCrockxen. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.